why is American Express closing so many accounts right now?
But as you can see, I'm gonna even show you on my phone. It was on Reuters. Amex is now at the forefront this month, but other banks have done the same. Chase and Citi as well. Especially if it's a personal account. Let me tell you, you don't want to lose 20, 30, 40, $50,000 worth of a credit line. So what I'm telling the people out there is this, and it's not only based on credit cards.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Calvin Russell here, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit. Listen, we got to get right into today's information because we got some serious news that just came out about American Express. And listen, the best person to talk about this is going to be my friend, Joe Barreto. Joe, are you here with us today? Can you hear me okay?
How you doing, Calvin? Thank you for having me. Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. Again, thank you for having me back on your channel.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, listen, you are the guy that we go to for American Express. And of course, you told me right away that there was some major news that just came out as a lot of accounts are being closed by American Express. And you've been seeing some patterns as to why this is happening. So, why is American Express closing so many accounts right now?
Well, it seems that it's a system-wide issue. Amex is now at the forefront this month, but other, banks have done the same, Chase and Citi as well. But what happened with Amex lately has been that they've been shutting down customers' accounts because they've seen unusual or suspicious activity. And that's a broad range of things that it can cover. But it seems that, let's say someone that has an Amex account is out of the country, they're on a trip, they're on a vacation, and fair enough, you're going to spend a lot more than you normally would on a daily basis because you're overseas. But then you get that bill and you pay that bill with a bank account that's not yours. That raises a red flag because they're like, wait a minute, you made the spend. It's in your name, your social security number, or your ITN or your EIN number, but yet the account that's paying it is not attached to you. So, especially when you're dealing internationally, it raises a red flag, and Amex has been really clamping down on it. But here's the other thing, it's not only happening internationally, it's if you're here in the States and you're buying a lot in a certain given month. Let's say your average spend across your accounts is $500 or $600 a month. And now you're spending 10, 15, 20,000,
Hmm.
and then the next month it goes back to just a couple of hundred.
Yeah.
They're wondering where that spend is going and why is it that it's going in these big buckets of money.
Mm.
And it is causing them, and they have the right, because if no one ever wants to read, and when you get
No.
these things right, here's where the card comes in. No
Right.
one wants to read all the stuff that's in this pamphlet, right? No one wants to
Right.
do this.
They throw it
But
away.
no, I never look at it. But the reality is they do that to cover their butt,
Yeah.
because in there they're going to tell you their terms and conditions on what they consider to be using the card as intended,
Mm.
not how you intend to use it, as they intend for you to use it.
Yeah.
Dining, shopping, supermarket spend, whatever, online clothes, whatever it is that you're going to do, that's normal, especially if it's a personal account. But when you're using a personal card to then make international purchases that might be business related, or buying things from sites, out of the country, and then not using your own account to pay it, it raises the red flag. If you're
Mm.
buying a ton of gift cards, fair enough, the holidays are coming now. A lot of people like to give gift cards. So here at 850 Club Credit, mi gente, we're always trying to find out new ways to help you stay on top of your credit and finances. So if you're ready to finally organize your credit cards and payments all in one place, download our free credit card tracker. It's a simple Google Sheet that helps you manage up to 15 cards, track your payments, and stay on top of your finances. All you need to do is just scan the QR code or check the description box below for instant access. But if I went from spending $500 on gift cards just to give out as gifts because I have a big family, and now
Yeah.
I'm at $10,000, guess what, guys? A lot of things now, and this just happened. I didn't even say this to you before we went on live. My
Yeah.
wife gave me a gift card 2 weeks ago for my birthday, bought it at CVS. I had to go back to CVS because when you peel back the numbers
Yeah.
were missing. And mind you, the thing was sealed, and
Wow.
it was an American Express gift card.
Wow. And and there have been things going on with just gift cards in general where I forgot how to process. I made a video on this, but they would scratch off the thing, but they did something. And then when you would activate the gift card or something, it would be connected to, they had access to it in some way. It's just it.
100. So I
Wow.
couldn't activate it. So
Mm,
thank God my wife had kept the receipt
yeah.
and they were able to refund us back, which is rare on a gift card. Cause
You
normally once you got it,
absolutely.
you know,
You're done.
so the guy was like, "Well, you couldn't even see the number." I go, "No, look." I said, "I can't even peel it." So
Yeah.
that's the things that people are doing these things, and Amex is noticing that it's going on too much. So what I'm telling the people out there is this, and it's not only based on credit cards. It can be based on any kind of banking relationship you have with Amex. It could be a savings account, a checking account, or whatever. Keep your accounts separate. Keep
Mm,
your business separate from your personal. So if you're on a business trip, a legitimate business trip, either in the States or going out overseas, use your business related debit card, your business related credit card, use those accounts and keep track of it that way. Because when you start mixing both worlds in, that's when it gets messy and that's when the red flags are raised. And then you don't want, let's say you've been stellar and you were doing nothing wrong and you've got 8 different accounts with Amex and all of a sudden they shut you down. Not only are they going to shut down your business side, they'll shut down the personal side because you were mixing both worlds together. So here's what I tell people. If it's business, and there's a mistake on business, then they can, deal with shutting down the business side until you straighten it out. But at least your personal side is not getting hit. Let me tell you, you don't want to lose 20, 30, 40, $50,000 worth of a credit line on your personal side because then your utilization rate goes up and your credit score, as you know better than anybody else, the king of FICO over there, that's
trying.
gonna tank
It
because you
is.
just lost $50,000 worth of a credit line
Absolutely.
because of something that you just were messy.
Yeah. Wow. And man, that's crazy. And like you said, a lot of these things are obviously avoidable, so and you just want to make sure that again, just being I mean, just internationally, things of that sort, or just using a lot and switching things over, or also too, and you know this more than I do, when people are, obviously chasing down points, right? And I've seen people say, "Oh yeah, just go ahead and just buy some gift cards and stuff like that." I'm like, "But yeah, but that's got to make sense." So if it's okay, obviously, because it is a business move to
Right.
buy business cards and to send them out to people, as like, referrals or something like that. So you can do that, but they could also tell the timing in which you're doing that as well too. But like you said, these things that raise those red flags, are major for sure.
So Amex even put out a and I have it here, but as you can see, I'm gonna even show you on my phone. It was on Reuters. Here's what they're telling you to mitigate. For regular customers, make sure you use the cards as intended, paying bills, everyday spend, personal travel, because then the risk appears lower, right?
Mm,
Though never zero. Fair enough. But from the credit side, whether you close your own account or the issuer closes it, the impact on your score can be the same. And that's the issue where you don't want something to get closed down because you were sloppy, messy, or you thought you can game the system. And that seems to be the problem. A lot of people, on different blogs and different, on YouTube,
yep.
Instagram, you name it, they'll go in there and preach and tell you, I got this hack, right? Like, I, I was talking about this last night with Cesar Joel, where they're like, yeah, I got this hack. And there's, if you want to fix your credit score, reach out to the credit bureaus, but don't sign the form. And then they really can't hit it because you didn't sign it. You know what?
Real quick, be sure to download our free ebook today. All you got to do is scan this QR code right here or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video.
That's just the get over mentality. And I'm too old for that,
Right.
you know, but
Yeah.
just keep the things neat. If
Yes.
and the thing is, nowadays, it's not like when I was your age, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that, you know, there was one credit card. You didn't really have two versions of everything, a personal version of a platinum and a business version of it. There
That's
was,
right.
you had a business card and a couple of store cards. Now they make it so easy. So what I tell people is keep it legit, because
Mm,
also when it comes time for you to do your taxes at the end of the year, there's a straight line cut. There's no gray line or gray area there. You know what was for business. That dinner you took with two other people, you spoke about business. It wasn't taking your girlfriend or your friend
that's right.
out to dinner. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So keep it professional and keep it right, and you keep
Yeah.
them off your back, because you
Mm,
don't want to show them this erratic spending pattern. You
yeah.
don't want to show them erratic payment patterns. What I do is, and this is just maybe could help everyone out there, on my apps, whether it's Chase, Amex, Citi, whatever, you could link what bank accounts you are paying from. And I always put more than one, because sometimes there's an issue where that bank server went down, or like the other day, AWS went down and it had a big
Absolutely.
effect, right? So you
Yeah.
always want to have more than one bank that you could rely on to pay that bill. But at
Yeah.
least they know it's already there and linked, because they're the ones that linked it. The
Yeah.
problem becomes when you're paying that bill of $5,000, but you're using your cousin Rico's bank account to pay it. And
Yeah.
then what? They're
Yeah.
like, yo, who's this guy? Where's his
Right.
money coming from?
Where's this money coming from? Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
And you know what? You do real estate.
Yeah.
Don't you have to prove where the money came from months before for your
Yeah.
down payment, for to close on the house, right? It can't
Yeah.
be you all of a sudden got this magical money in your account.
That's right. Has to have a paper trail. And the reason why is because they want to make sure that you're not borrowing money to borrow money. And they also don't want you to have a 100% finance deal and knowingly see patterns, of that. So, yeah, you got to have a paper trail.
And that's why I tell people, don't scam. We're not in high
Yeah.
school. You're not trying to get this girl's number. You're trying to make sure you do things the right way.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's moved over, not just like I said from Amex, but Chase is clamping down, Citibank is clamping down on different account openings and things of that nature. So
Mm.
I mean, if you want, I can go over with Chase. But
Matt, let's go into that. And real quick too, guys. I do want to let you guys know. Well, first off, listen. This is why we bring Joe here. He keeps up with this information, especially with American Express. This is Mr. Amex, okay? But I did want to mention something too, because we do say the word hacks and strategies, tips, tricks, things of that sort. But when you're watching people like us, we're talking about a strategy on how to do
right,
something better, like things that banks want you to do. And it's like, hey, because you're using them better. You may not have known something. So our job is to take you from not knowing something to knowing something and how to work with them better. The issue is people, they will say, hey, listen, this is how you skip the line. This is how you kind of do it the sneaky way. And then they'll call that a hack. They'll call that a trick. I just want to make sure, guys, no, we don't stay in the gray area.
no,
Okay. So this is legitimate things. And this is why we're letting you know if you're doing these types of things, it's not just something that you're doing. It's a red flag and they look out for those things. But yes, let's go into Chase Bank because you mentioned how some things are like, I don't know if are they closing accounts or what are they doing? What are they doing recently?
they're reallocating monies. But
Mm,
you made me laugh with these hacks, because it reminds me when I was at the airport 2 weeks ago, and people
yeah.
that want to board first get in a wheelchair. Yet when the plane lands, they're the first ones running out the plane. So
Oh my.
that's a hack, a get over, whatever. Like
That's a ghetto hack
that's a
because
ghetto hack, right?
we listen, we were on my wife and I, we were on a Uber to the airport. And the guy says, yeah, make sure y'all tell him that you got back problems and so y'all can, just get a wheelchair. I'm like, it ain't that serious for me. Like, don't get me wrong, because if you do stuff like that, you're the type of person that do other stuff. Like, or as it's a guy I listen to all the time, he says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I'm like, oh, and it's one of those things where it's so great to hear it, but then you hate to hear it because it's like, man, I'm doing this same way. I'm doing this same way. But if you're trying to get sneaky on some stuff like that, like, come on, man, you gotta. I forgot it's this older guy I used to work with years ago, and he used to say, you gotta be a citizen. You gotta do stuff the right way, like,
Yeah.
and not like an American citizen, but he was someone you gotta do things, just do it the right way, so you don't have to worry about somebody looking over. You don't have to look over your shoulder. So That's my take on that, but go ahead.
But- so Chase, and this personally happened to me in August. I
Wow.
applied for a new account with IHG, with International Hotel Group. And I knew I would get approved for the card, but they didn't give me the immediate approval that I was used to getting when you apply online. I called right away, and then they said, look, it's not that you're not approved, but we're looking at the credit we've already distributed and given you. I said, but what kind of credit? And with that, they meant if I had auto loans, if I had a mortgage, if I had credit cards out there, whether they were Citi Bank, Chase Bank issued credit cards or co-branded, like a United Airlines credit card or a Hyatt credit card that's all run by Chase or Marriott as well. So here's what they're doing. Chase will give you, and it's an unwritten rule, but it's a rule. Let's say you make $100,000 a year, they're willing to extend to you in credit maybe 10 to 15%. So you're looking at them giving you a credit card or a credit limit of 10,000 or $15,000, right? The more money you make, the more money you show them you make, then they can extend more credit. So on for my situation was I have a number of cards with Chase. I think about 10.
Mm,
10 that are like, so the Freedom Flexes, the Unlimiteds, the business cards, and so on. But then I have Hyatt and co-branded cards like United and IHG. So what they did was, and they didn't tell me, I found out after I was approved, they saw that I wasn't using one of my United cards, and I had basically the full line open of $15,000 in credit. And they took some of that credit limit and moved it over to give me a higher IHG limit, which is fine. Here's the thing: when you're applying for these things, you don't need $100,000 because I'm not a baller like that. I don't know anybody that
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So when people get upset that I only got a $10,000 limit, there's nothing wrong with that.
It isn't
It-
like, but
right?
people they see certain things online and they're like, oh, this is not enough. It's like, come on, stop. Like, yeah,
Yeah. When was the last time you stayed at the Hilton and ran up a $20,000 bill? I never done it. Right. So
right.
so the thing is, so Chase is doing this where they're reallocating
Mm,
current credit that you have available to you. So, in essence, they're not extending you new credit. They're giving you the opportunity to use a new product, but using existing credit that you have built, and they're moving it around for you.
wow.
So, you're still getting the result that you want, which is the product,
Yep.
but they're not giving you a higher line. So, what
Mm,
happens is this: we always talk about credit utilization. So if I now have another product that I'm going to spend on, but I didn't get more money to use to spend on, I'm pushing my utilization up, which in essence is going to bring, if I don't pay it off, my credit score down. Okay. Because you always want to try to be at least 10% or lower in your utilization when it comes to credit. Okay. A lot of people say 30%, but think about it, guys. If you have $100,000 available and you owe 30,000, bro, that's a lot of sleepless nights.
yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
you know, try to keep it under 10. So that's Chase's issue.
Mm,
Now, there's one more bank out there that the line is Citi does what Citi does.
mm.
And the reason I'm bringing up Citi, because when the Wall Street Journal puts you on blast, there's
It's
a
legit.
problem. There's a
It's
problem.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm talking about, the Bergen Record here in New Jersey, the local paper or whatever. No, this is the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Back in July, Citibank finally rolled out their unicorn card, the Strata Elite, which was supposed to go up against the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the American Express Platinum cards. It was Citi's most premium card at $595 a year. The only credit card to allow you to transfer to American Airlines, which was huge for them. I was excited. I said, "Oh my God, this is cool. It's a lot cheaper than the other ones. Let's see what happens." They did a few bad things. First of all, when you get these bonuses, like you mentioned before, when people are chasing sign-up bonuses. They offered 100,000 points with $4,000 spend. It lasted 1 week, and then you
Mm,
had to go in branch to get it.
yeah.
If you live where there's no Citibank branches,
You
you're
can't do it.
done.
Yeah.
Then they were offering you only 80,000 points for the
Mm,
same spend. So okay, people could tolerate that, let's say.
yeah.
Then what happened? Citi gives you the card, says, okay, you got to spend 4,000 to get these 100,000 points.
Easy.
But right, easy. But now you try to use your card and it's locked. And you're like, what the hell? Did I put the wrong password? Did I put the wrong? What did I do? Did I make a mistake? No.
Wow.
They closed people, they locked people's accounts without them knowing. Okay. Right off the bat, as this rolls out and it's summer, it's peak travel time. People
Yeah.
were in Europe trying to use their only card and they couldn't use it. It was locked. So if that was the card you relied on, you were out of luck, out of the country, right? So
Yeah.
then Citi said, "Oh, we'll reopen your account. Send us this form, 4506-C, which is an income verification form that you use from the IRS." What the hell? Isn't that I've opened up a ton of business cards. I've never had to prove
They
anything.
never right. Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
come on, you're in business. It is
Yeah.
real business card. Have you ever applied for, let's say, a Sears card, and they're like, "Yo, bro, you gotta show me your taxes
Yeah, no,
so that
it's
I could
it's
give you
never
the
that. They just and if and his I'll even go further. If they need to ask like for when you start talking like into tax returns and things of that sort, if you're not borrowing money, then just decline the person at that point. But I can say though, I have seen people as of recently on even on the Amex side, on the business side, they're now starting to they want to connect to
Yep.
bank accounts to verify. So regardless if they say, "Hey, send me the document," they're just doing it another way. They say, "Hey, just give us access to the bank. We want to kind of see these deposits."
So the dirty part that they did was they send they send people emails and they're like, "Okay, thank you for sending us the form. It takes about 30 days to process." Now, here's the
Hmm.
problem. They only give you 90 days to meet the 4,000 spend requirement. You
Mm,
can't spend on the card because it's locked. You can't send them $4,000 because your account is locked, right?
yeah,
So they said, we're going to give you an extra 30 days. And people are like, what? You still
yeah.
haven't even approved me to use it yet. What's another 30 days going to do for me?
Hmm.
So then Wall Street Journal got a hold of this and they fired it off and it hit all the local news outlets across the country. It was the worst rollout of a premium product in a cards issuer's history,
Yeah,
even worse than Wells, it seemed. So Citi then starts backpedaling, and they're like, "Damn, how can we make this right?" So it got so bad, Calvin, that I
yeah,
tried, and I have here in Jersey. There's a Citibank branch near me, and
yeah.
I have a good relationship with them. I've had Citibank for over 40 years on my personal checking. So
Hmm.
I go to the manager and I said, I want to apply for this product. And he goes, Joe, I can't even, my screen is down. Our system nationwide are having problems. And it seems to be in regions that it's hitting. I said, what do you mean by that?
Mm.
He goes, I can't even pull the application for you. I can't give you a link. I'm like,
Wow.
so how are you going to roll out a product? Right. So little by little, they started in the West Coast. The last region to get opened was the East Coast, where I'm at. Then, when the Wall Street Journal article hit and it hit the
Yeah,
news nationwide, Citi sends everybody an email that says, okay, we admit there were issues, right? So
yeah.
here's what we're going to do to remedy it. And I got to give them credit because I've never seen this before.
Wow.
Anybody that was affected was given back a $595 statement credit, which was the annual fee for the card. So your
Wow.
first year is free. They gave you back $75 of an authorized user credit that you had. So if you paid for an extra card, they issued you that back to you.
Yeah,
Here is where they went, I think, above and beyond because they knew this was going to come back to bite them.
yeah.
The 100,000 thank you points, which if you cash out at 1 cent per point, is equivalent to $1,000 in cash.
Yeah.
That's cash money. If you do
Mm.
travel, it might be worth more. It could be 2 and 3 times that.
Yeah.
Citibank said, we're just going to give you the 100,000 points, whether you made the $4,000
Or
spend
not.
or not.
Wow.
So for a lot of people, when you factor in the valuation of cent per point, you're
Yeah.
looking at over $1,600 per person that Citi lost because of their error, because of the way
Mm.
they roll things out.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, they also said really, really quickly,
Yeah.
this only affects the people. So if I applied for the card and got in right after, I still had to pay the 595. I wasn't getting 100,000 points. It was the people who had their cards locked and had to submit that form. So from the different estimates out there, because I tried to do the research and find out the exact amount, it's in the millions of dollars that they owe people because a lot of people like this product and applied. So they had to give these people these refunds back. So it just shows you that even a big issuer like Citibank, one of the largest bank institutions in the country or in the world for that matter, is able to make mistakes. They corrected it in some ways, but imagine you being on a trip to Europe with your family and that's the one card you have because the other card you have is American Express. And in a lot of places, they don't take American Express overseas. What are you going to do?
Mm. Right.
You know,
Right.
I don't want to give my
Wow.
debit card overseas. I don't know if there's a skimmer there. You've done those
Absolutely.
videos where they have a skimmer
Listen,
and there goes your bank account,
you're done.
right? No
That's why
protection.
that's why I make those listen, that's why I make those videos because a lot of people don't know, like especially in America, it's so much that I would say distractions or things that get our attention. And so I won't say we're blind to a lot of stuff, but if we don't see it on the news, like on a national scale, we won't know. And we'll just keep going about every day like, like nothing's going on. Yeah.
No, we because and we're also so used to stuff and ease of use, right?
Yes.
That we're numb to it. I don't
Yeah.
know how many times I've given my card out to the person at a restaurant or whatever, and then 20 minutes later, I'm like, "Yo, where's my card?" Right? And then you don't
Listen.
know if they're running that card somewhere else because it's been done.
Hmm.
My son got his card lifted like that at an
Hmm.
Applebee's, and they drained his bank account. It was a debit card. He was
Wow.
in Pittsburgh, and they drained it in Long Island.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's my thing. So for Citibank to do this, okay, it showed good faith and they're trying to get their customers back. But
Yeah.
now when you factor in Chase moving your money around to give you more of a credit line, Amex closing accounts because of some foo-foo stuff they see going on, or that you may or may not be doing it on purpose. And now, Citibank, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not stupid. They have people that watch the videos, that read the blogs, that look on Reddit, that look to see what people are doing. And that's how, if you notice, sometimes things change for good. Like when people are complaining because something was
Yeah.
devalued, they might fix it like they did with Delta.
Yeah.
But then they'll also shut you down like they did with Capital One, where Capital One had to do a lot of changes because people were taking advantage of all the perks they had and they were losing money.
Yeah. Wow. Man, listen, this is why we bring Joe to the channel, okay? Because we need to know about stuff like this because people have accounts with these particular banks or they may have thought about doing some of these things without any malicious intent. And then you find yourself in a situation where with Amex or Chase or Citibank, well, Citibank, then that's on them, but still, and knowing what those things could be the triggers or just knowing what's going on in general. No, listen, guys, there's because sometimes I see in the comments, it's like, well, what bank should I be with? And it's like, listen, no bank is perfect, but you need to know what's going on.
And
Okay.
what I would tell people when they ask me that,
Yeah.
if you have a good credit union near you, a local
Yeah.
credit union or a local bank that will do your day-to-day banking,
Yeah.
have that relationship. Like I said, growing up in New York, I had a lot of options, and
Yeah.
Citibank was always there for me and readily available. So
Yeah.
45 years later, I still have Citibank.
Mm,
But
yeah.
make sure you have that good banking
That's right.
relationship no
That's right.
matter what. And I always tell people apply for any other line of credit, whether it be an auto loan, a mortgage, or whatever, or a credit card with the institution that you already have in place,
Yeah.
because you're more likely to get it accepted and approved than just by going willy-nilly into a bank and saying, "Hey, I want, to buy this house and can you do it for me?" They
Yeah.
may not because you don't have a history with them.
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely. Well, listen, Joe, listen, first off, in the comments, guys, let us know if you want us to bring Joe back. He's coming back anyway, but I'm just letting just in case you guys want to put that inside the chat there. But listen, make sure you guys take advantage of this information. And thanks again, Joe, for just keeping a pulse on what's going on out there in the banking and credit card space for sure. So thanks again, Joe. We greatly appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, Calvin, as always. And I thank all of your subscribers and viewers. They're always so kind to me. I
Yeah.
appreciate them. And I thank you as always, Calvin. I wish you the best.
Absolutely. You get the nice people because I'm like, when you say that, that's so nice. That's some. No, I'm kidding, but all right, Joe. Until next time, sir.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.